There were body parts of sundry animals scattered all around the place, buckets of foul-smelling goo, and among all this, a fellow clutching a saw, wearing an apron stained with blood. I'd been called to collect some scrap cars from the cottage attached to the hunt kennels. When I couldn't get anyone to answer the doorbell, foolishly, I went wandering around the property. This bloke must have had a stomach like a leather bucket working in this every day. On seeing me, he stopped hacking up what looked like a cow's leg, coming over to see what I wanted. He was an Irishman, about 35, with a mop of ginger hair, and seemed pretty pissed off for the disturbance. I explained why I was there, the charges for my services, and asked to be directed to the vehicles to be disposed of. And still clutching his saw, he walked ahead of me, stepping over several carcasses, then around the rear of the cottage to where the cars were located. Two left over from the early 80s greeted me. A Volkswagen Scirocco with parts missing, this bunking down with a red Opel Manta that was complete. No keys or paperwork were available, judging by the grunts from my host. He then left me to it, which to be honest was a relief as to what with his attitude plus the stench emanating from him. I was in two minds as to whether to just get in the cab of the old Iveco and abandon ship. Both cars were too big to be loaded in one go without a crane or a forklift, so I dragged the VW on first, dropping this one back at my yard before returning for the Opel. I decided that given the pungent aromas to me be endured during loading, I would hold off on lunch until later on that day. Upon my return, the non-chatty Irishman was nowhere to be seen. I loaded the Opel, then pushed my invoice through the letterbox and left. Weeks went by, but no cheque made an appearance in the post. I weighed the VW in, but managed to get the Opel Manta sold on to another breakers for a few quid above scrap value. The girl I was seeing at the time and worked at a local pub not far from the kennels. I called in on my way to collect her one afternoon. Said man was at his hacking and sawing again. I tackled him about the non-payment, all the time just about hanging on to the day's stomach contents by my finger ends. No response, not a syllable uttered from him. I upped the ante, demanded to know what he intended to do about the outstanding amount. He just stared at me before turning and walking off. I heard a lorry start up, then an MAN stock lorry started reversing towards me, coming to a halt just a few feet away. I stepped back and he jumped down from the cab, grinning before pulling the loading ramp down. The fearsome reek of death hit in the air as he did. Inside were half a dozen dead sheep in various states of decomposition. Up came my lunch all over the concrete. Laughing, he started dragging the animals out. I couldn't take any more, getting back into my old Mercedes 190, spinning the wheels with a screech as I left. Later that week, I was stood in the pub, chatting with my girlfriend who was working behind the bar, when Simon, the local tyre fitter, walked in. I had known him for years, and we got talking about work. I mentioned the Hunt Kennels job and this Irishman who I couldn't get to pay. Some same place owed Simon money for tyres being fitted to the stock lorry, it turned out. I described my experience, this having him near rolling about with laughter. We agreed to go back there together the next day. This time, a lady answered the bell to us at the cottage. Simon and I explained what we were there for. She wrote Simon a cheque then and there, but refused to do so for mine, saying it was nothing to do with the business, a personal matter between me and the Irishman. Simon had been paid, so he didn't really care much about it whether I did or not. One walk around the corner into all that stink was enough to have him scuttling back into the car. A total waste of time. The phone in the yard rang one morning 6 weeks later, and an Irish voice boomed down the line. "You bastards! Dumped a load of scrap and waste on the drive at the Hunt Kennels overnight because I didn't pay, didn't you? Well, I'm having the law on you." My reply before laughing down the line at him was simple. "I didn't do it, mate, but I'm fucking glad somebody has." Hello there. Thank you for watching my video. If you've enjoyed this one and would like to see a few more, please subscribe, like and share. It is appreciated. Does mean a lot. All the best to you all. Take care.